and people are coming in. Io sono abituato a cibarmi di nuvole e lontananza. I am used to feed on clouds and distance. And so are we. Yes, my friends, hello everybody, hello, hello. We are starting now our Momenti Musicali. Welcome everybody. Yes, unfortunately, we are now used to be social distant, but yet we are here today. So thank you very much for taking your time for registering and coming in to our second appointment of the concert series, concert and literature series, Momenti Musicali, this time dedicated to the music of Claude Debussy and the poetry of Eugenio Montale. Now, fun fact, today is International Poetry Day, la giornata internazionale della poesia. So this is the perfect opportunity to celebrate con le bellissime poesie del poeta italiano Eugenio Montale. Today we have here our guest artists, pianists Maestro Luana Struppa. Ciao Luana. And the Maestro Manabu Takasawa. Hello Manabu. And we have our actors Emanuele Capoano and Steve Dooner. Now, let me remind you that this series is sponsored by the Società Dante Alighieri di Roma and is organized in collaboration with the Dante Alighieri Society in Michigan. And in fact, we have here today Daniela Henderson, who is the chair of the cultural committee, right? So ciao Daniela, benvenuta. Thank you for your collaboration. Always wonderful to collaborate with you guys. And the series is under the auspices of the Consulate General of Italy in Boston and the Consulate General of Italy in Detroit. And today we have the pleasure to have with us our Consul General of Italy in Boston, Federica Sereni, who will say a few words. Ciao Federica. Unmute.
Okay, ciao Chiara, grazie. Thank you all for being here, and my deepest gratitude to the artists that will make this event amazing as all the other events that have been organized this year. And thank you, a special thank you to the Dante Alighieri of Boston and to the Dante Alighieri of Michigan. We've done several things together, and I think that as the pandemic has brought out the worst in many situations, I can definitely say it has brought out the best in many people. And so I think that we all made an effort, and events like this prove the efforts that have been made to make you all feel we are still here, we are still all promoting the Italian language together, Italian art, music. And this collaboration between the two Dante Alighieri from Michigan and from Massachusetts is a fiore all'occhiello. So it's a very important cooperation that I hope will continue well after this is hopefully soon all over. So thank you all very much for everything you do, and thank you to the artists for making this event possible. E grazie a tutti gli ospiti da parte mia. Grazie.
Thank you, Consul. Thank you very much for always participating and supporting us. We truly appreciate it. Now, let's get started with a short introduction in Italian by the artistic director of this wonderful series, la pianista e maestro Daniela Roma. Ciao Daniela, bentornata, welcome back.
Grazie, un saluto a tutti. Allora, cosa hanno in comune Claude Debussy ed Eugenio Montale? in realtà non si sono mai incontrati. Però dobbiamo dire che la musica di Debussy ispirò tantissimo la poetica montaliana, tant'è che lui stesso afferma che quando iniziò a scrivere Ossi di Seppia aveva ascoltato i Mistrel di Debussy. Quindi cosa hanno in comune? Entrambi cercano di scardinare i principi tradizionali che fino a quel momento hanno avuto musica e poesia, per cercare di costruire un tipo di composizione che esprime una gamma variegata di colori e di percezioni. E quindi lascio la parola all'attore Steve Dooner che leggerà l'introduzione in inglese. Grazie.
Thank you very much, Daniela. Let's get started. I will say thank you and bye to both the generals, the Consul General Sereni, that I'm going to put into. Grazie tantissime e alla prossima. E anche a Daniela, ci vediamo la prossima volta. See you next time. E now, che lo spettacolo cominci.
Montale says, when I started writing the first Ossi di Seppia poems, I certainly had an idea of a new music and a new painting. I had heard Debussy's minstrels, and in the first edition of the book, there was a little thing by which I was trying to reproduce those songs again. Music dreamed. In the Ossi di Seppia, everything was attracted and absorbed by the fermenting sea. Later, I saw that the sea was everywhere for me. Even in the classic architectures of the Tuscan hills, there were also movement and escape. And also in the new book, I continued my struggle to dig for another dimension in our heavily polysyllabic language, which seemed to me to refuse an experience like mine. I often cursed our language, but in it and for it, I came to recognize myself inguaribilmente Italiano, incurably Italian, and without regret. It seems extremely clear to Montale that Debussy often had in mind the scent of sound, the awareness that music should be perceived by all the senses, synesthesia, so that the listener could better immerse himself in what it could evoke, and so that he could leave awake a sensation. The impenetrability of reality was resolved by the symbolists with these sonic, olfactory, visual correspondences, whose phenomenology referred to light, elusive, evanescent substances, which filtered the gaze through the veil. And here, therefore, Montale brings up the noise-free music that moistens the eyes and allows you to see the world as if it were swimming in the blonde. And so the presence of music so insistent must be compared also with the pictorial language, so common also in Debussy, that for an hermeneutic smallness, he was immediately defined an impressionist musician, despite the fact that he badly endured this labeling. The tinte scarlatte, ora biade, the scarlet hues, now white, of which Montale speaks, can very well approach the sonic nuances that Debussy obtains using the hexatonal and pentatonic scales, a succession of sounds typical of Javanese culture, whose ambiguity recalls the visual counterparts made up of the ethereal, vaporous landscapes of a Monet, of a Cézanne. Let us begin our poetic and musical journey now. Please enjoy.
Minstrels, da Ossi di Seppia. Ritornello, rimbalzi tra le vetrate d'afa dell'estate, acre groppo di note soffocate, riso che non esplode, ma trapunge le ore vuote. E lo suonano tra 3 avanzi di baccanale, vestiti di ritagli di giornali, con strumenti mai veduti, simili a strani imbuti che si gonfiano a volte e poi s'afflosciano. musica senza rumore, che nasce dalle strade, si innalza a stento e ricade, e si colora di tinte ora scarlatte, ora biade, e inumidisce gli occhi, così che il mondo si vede come socchiudendo gli occhi nuotar nel biondo. Scatta, ripiomba, sfuma, poi riappare, soffocata, lontana, si consuma, non sode quasi, si respira. Bruci tu pure tra le lastre dell'estate, cuore che ti smarrisci, ed ora incauto provi le ignote note sul tuo flauto.
Refrain, echoing through summer's hazy window panes. Acid knot of suffocated notes, laugh that won't explode but cuts across the empty hours, played by three stragglers from a bacchanal dressed in newsprint, carrying instruments never seen before, strange funnels that swell up and then fall flat. Noiseless music born in the streets that rises haltingly, then falls and takes on colors scarlet, then sky blue, bringing tears until the world is seen as though through half-closed eyes, swimming in blonde. It breaks out, sinks, evaporates, then reappears, muffled far off and fades, almost more breathed than heard. You too burn in summer's windows, troubled heart, and reckless now try out the new notes on your flute.
I limoni da Ossi di Seppia. Ascoltami. I poeti laureati si muovono soltanto fra le piante dai nomi poco usati, bossi ligustri o acanti. Io, per me, amo le strade che riescono agli erbosi fossi dove in pozzanghere mezzo seccate agguantano i ragazzi qualche sparuta anguilla. Le viuzze che seguono i ciglioni discendono tra i ciuffi delle canne e mettono negli orti tra gli alberi dei limoni. Meglio se le gazzarre degli uccelli si spengono inghiottite dall'azzurro. Più chiaro si ascolta il sussurro dei rami amici nell'aria, che quasi non si muove. E i sensi di questo odore che non sa staccarsi da terra, e piove in petto una dolcezza inquieta. Qui, delle divertite passioni per miracolo, tace la guerra. Qui tocca anche a noi poveri la nostra parte di ricchezza e dell'odore dei limoni. Vedi? In questi silenzi in cui le cose s'abbandonano e sembrano vicine a tradire il loro ultimo segreto, talora ci si aspetta di scoprire uno sbaglio di natura, il punto morto del mondo, l'anello che non tiene, il filo da disbrogliare che finalmente ci metta nel mezzo di una verità. Lo sguardo fruga d'intorno, la mente indaga, accorda, disunisce, nel profumo che dilaga quando il giorno più languisce. Sono i silenzi in cui si vede in ogni ombra umana che si allontana qualche disturbata divinità. Ma l'illusione manca e ci riporta il tempo nelle città rumorose, dove l'azzurro si mostra soltanto a pezzi, in alto, tra le cimase. La pioggia stanca la terra di poi. S'affolta il tedio dell'inverno sulle case e la luce si fa avara, amara l'anima. Quando un giorno, da un malchiuso portone, tra gli alberi di una corte, ci si mostrano i gialli dei limoni e il gelo del cuore si sfa e in petto ci scrosciano le loro canzoni, le trombe d'oro della solarità.
Listen to what I'm telling you. The poets awarded laurels only appear to move among plants whose names are rarely used, box, privet, or acanthus. But that's not me. I love the roads that end up in grassy ditches, where in half-dried puddles, boys grab a handful of emaciated eels. The lanes that follow riverbanks descend through tufted water canes and open out into orchards, groves of lemon trees. It's best when the hubbub of birds is stifled, absorbed by the blue sky. Then one can listen more closely to the rustle of friendly branches in an air that hardly moves, and sense a particular smell that is imbued with the earth and reigns in the heart a restless sweetness. Here, miraculously, pain has turned it to pleasure, and the sounds of war are silenced. Here, even the poorest of us can have riches in the smell of lemons. You see, in these silences in which things surrender themselves and seem close to betraying their ultimate secret, sometimes we half expect to discover a flaw in nature, the still point of the world, the link that comes loose, the thread to unravel that finally takes us to the heart of a truth. The eye searches around, the mind examines, harmonizes, dissects in the fragrance that overflows when the day most languishes. It is in these silences that we see in every passing human shadow some disturbed divinity. But the illusion dies and time draws us back to noisy cities where the blue sky only appears in fragments high up between the roofs. The rain tires out the earth. From now onwards, the tedium of winter weighs on houses. Light becomes miserly, the soul embittered. Then one day, through a door left ajar, in among the trees in a courtyard, we glimpse the yellow of lemons, and the ice in our heart melts, and in our chests fanfares blare from their golden trumpets of sunlight.
Giorno e notte, da Finisterre. Anche una piuma che vola può disegnare la tua figura, o il raggio che gioca a rimpiattino tra i mobili, o il rimando dello specchio di un bambino dai tetti. Sul giro delle mura strascichi di vapore prolungano le guglie dei pioppi, e giù sul trespolo s'arruffa il pappagallo dell'arrotino. Poi la notte afosa sulla piazzola e i passi, e sempre questa dura fatica di affondare, per risorgere eguali da secoli o da istanti, d'incubi che non possono ritrovare la luce dei tuoi occhi nell'antro incandescente, e ancora le stesse grida e i lunghi pianti sulla veranda, se rimbomba improvviso il colpo che t'arrossa la gola e schianta l'ali. Oh, perigliosa annunziatrice dell'alba! E si destano i chiostri e gli ospedali a un lacerio di trombe.
Even a flying feather can sketch your figure, or a ray of light playing hide and seek among tables and chairs, the signal from a child's mirror or the rooftops. Round the circuit of walls, trails of mist lengthen the spires of the poplars, and down below on its perch, the knife grinder's parrot ruffles its plumage. Then sultry night. In the little squares, footsteps, and always the toilsome effort to sink so as to rise again, equal to centuries, moments, to nightmares that cannot recover the light of your eyes in the incandescent cave. And still the same cries and the endless plaint on the veranda. If the sudden blow falls that reddens your throat and breaks your wings, O perilous herald of dawn, and the cloisters and hospitals wake to a laceration of trumpets.
Corno inglese da Ossi di Seppia. Il vento che stasera suona attento ricorda un forte scotere di lame, gli strumenti dei fitti alberi e spazza l'orizzonte di rame, dove strisce di luce si protendono come aquiloni al cielo che rimbomba. Nuvole in viaggio, chiari reami di lassù, d'altri eldoradi, malchiuse porte, e il mare che scaglia a scaglia, livido, muta colore, lancia a terra una tromba di schiume intorte, il vento che nasce e muore nell'ora che lenta s'annera. Suonasse te pure stasera, scordato strumento, cuore.
The intent wind that plays tonight, recalling a sharp clash of metal sheets, the instruments of the thick trees and sweet the copper horizon, where streaks of light are trailing, kites in the sky that roars, traveling clouds, bright kingdoms up above, high Eldorados, half-shut doors, and the livid sea, which scale by scale turns colors, hurls a horn of contorted spume ashore, the wind that's born and dies in the hour that slowly goes dark. If only it could play you too tonight, discordant instrument, heart.
Spesso il male di vivere ho incontrato da ossi di seppia. Spesso il male di vivere ho incontrato. Era il rivo strozzato che gorgoglia, era l'incartocciarsi della foglia riarsa, era il cavallo stramazzato. Bene non seppi, fuori del prodigio che schiude la divina indifferenza. Era la statua nella sonnolenza del meriggio e la nuvola e il falco alto levato.
I have often encountered the evil of living. It was the choked brook that gurgles. It was the curling of the sun-parched leaf. It was the horse that collapses. The good I did not know, beyond the miracle unfolded by divine indifference. It was the statue in the drowsiness of midday, and the cloud, and the hawk soaring high.
Ho sceso dandoti il braccio almeno 1 milione di scale, dedicata alla moglie Drusilla Tanzi, da Xenia. Ho sceso dandoti il braccio almeno 1 milione di scale. E ora che non ci sei, è il vuoto ad ogni gradino. Anche così è stato breve il nostro lungo viaggio. Il mio dura tuttora. E né più mi occorrono le coincidenze, le prenotazioni, le trappole, gli scorni di chi crede che la realtà sia quella che si vede. Ho sceso milioni di scale, dandoti il braccio. Non già perché con 4 occhi forse si vede di più. Con te le ho scese, perché sapevo che di noi due le sole vere pupille, sebbene tanto offuscate, erano le tue.
Dedicated to his wife Drusilla Tanzi, who died in 1963. I went down 1 million stairs, at least arm in arm with you. And now that you are not here, I feel emptiness at each step. Our long journey was brief, though mine still lasts. But I don't need any more connections, reservations, traps, humiliation of those who think reality is what we are used to see. I went down 1 million of stairs at least, arm in arm with you. And not because with 4 eyes we see better than with 2. With you, I went downstairs because I knew among the 2 of us, the only real eyes, although very blurred, belonged to you.
Let me say congratulations to my colleagues, Luana, Struppa and Manabu Takasawa, to the actors, bravissimi, bravissimi.
Grazie, Daniela. Thank you, everybody. This was moving. I mean, the last poem about the wife who had just passed away is amazing. Plus the music. Thank you, Manabu. Thank you, Luana, Stephen, Emanuele. Beautiful performance. So, my friends, stay because we have an amazing testimonianza, a testimony of a friend of mine who actually met the Italian poet Eugenio Montale. So I will invite her in. She's going to share a couple of photos. In the meantime, please feel free to ask questions in the chat, of course, to our panelists, to Daniela Roma, who is, the creator of all these, programs, not only today, but the entire series. So feel free to ask her questions. Grazie Mike, grazie dei commenti bellissimi, veramente sono commossa. In the meantime, while Pina is coming in, I would like to remind you that we at the Dante Alighieri Society of Massachusetts would like to thank you all. Please remember to become a member. This is a way, to support the Italian culture and language in Boston and New England. And please don't forget to attend the third appointment with Momenti Musicali that is going to be on Sunday, April 18, and we are gonna have Luana Struppa again. We are gonna have Steve Dooner. The appointment, the third event will be about Leeds, Ferenc Leeds, and Francesco Petrarca. So we are doing, an early Italian poetry, event with Ferenc Leeds. So that's going to be exciting. And unfortunately, we won't have Emanuele, but we will have another wonderful actress. Her name is Viviana Dragani. So I'm very excited about the event too. Okay, Pina, hello. How are you?
Hello, buonasera, everybody. I am so thrilled to have been able to see this wonderful performance of these great pianists and the organizer and the actors. And I want you to know that some of my students from the ADAPT Network community have been listening, and they have been so excited to be able to participate and learn about classical music and see a live performance. So thank you, first of all. And secondly, I just wanted to share that I had the joy and the honor of meeting Eugenio Montale several times because my mother was a professor of Smith College and she interviewed Montale several times when I was younger. I will share a picture of Montale at his house in Forte dei Marmi, which is in Tuscany. And let's see here.
I know, I go every summer.
Oh, I love it.
Except for last summer because of COVID.
And this is a picture of me with Montale. Can you see that, everybody?
And we can recognize your face. Yes.
Quite a bit younger there, but that's me, yes. And it was wonderful because Montale loved classical music and he loved Madama Butterfly. And I'm a singer and a music teacher and songwriter. So I would let him read some of my poems. Can you imagine? I was young, so I was not afraid of this wonderful Nobel Prize poet. And he signed a couple of my books, of his books, saying, alla mia cara Pina, and he also called me Birba, which is affectionately meaning, let's see, Emanuele might be able to translate better than me. Well, how would you translate Birba?
A naughty girl, naughty.
Well, no, birbacciona, birbante, like scoundrel, rascal,
yeah, like
rascal.
Naughty.
Right. Kind of like right, because I dared to show him some of my poetry, and he liked it, and he was so wonderful. So there he was speaking with me, and we once sang Madame Butterfly, a little bit of it. He sang for me because he had a beautiful baritone voice, Montale. This is a picture instead. Where are we here? Hold on, not easy for me to figure all of this out. Hold on. Oh, you are screen sharing. Stop share, and then I'll do the other share.
Yeah, and do the other, yes.
Yes, and the other one is, there are two others. One is a picture of my mother who interviewed Montale. She was a professor of Italian at Smith College. And I think we also have some people from Italy that I contacted, and I told them about your wonderful performance.
Grazie.
So
no, we have a lot of people from Italy.
Yes, yes. And Mom was one of the first women Fulbright scholars, and she interviewed Montale several times. And then one other, let's see, which is just one of many dedications that Montale wrote about me. Where is it? Let's see, stop share.
I know we saw it,
Oh,
alla carapina.
Okay,
yes.
All right, there it is. Okay, alla carapina, right. Okay,
yes.
And there's one of them, there's not time to put that one on now too, but it's also a saluti alla birba.
Ecco. No, thank you, Pina. This is, you know, it's heartwarming, è commovente, especially, you know, for all of us who admire Montale so much, you know, it's like quite impressive. So really, thank you, thank you.
It's incredible that such a man who was such a great poet should have been so human and down to earth to be able to relate to a young girl and to share reading her poems. It was just, it's wonderful. It's a side of Montale that you would maybe not suspect from his writings.
No, that's awesome. I agree. That's fantastic.
May I ask you, well, Pina used an expression in English, down to earth. Actually, just a few notes, because Montale, he was against the biggest Superman, D'Annunzio. And in fact, his language was to do a short revolutionary of the Italian language, of the Italian sounds. So down to earth, I mean, he talks about, he used to put in his writings and poems a lot of the earth, the dirty earth, the dirty lemons, the lights, that something that usually you don't listen in the poems. So
bellissimo, grazie.
Vero, yes. Yep. We have quite a lot of comments. Oh, thank you, Sara. Sara is always with us, Sara. And also I see again Paola Stranges. I don't know if I am pronouncing your name well.
Da Malta.
Bene il tuo nome, ma lei è della Dante Malta. Right? And she's always following us. So thank you. We are appreciating it. Any other questions or comments? Sì, Debussy, vero, grazie Sigrid. Thank you. Okay, so I think that we are done. I think it's time to end it, but you know, I'm very excited that all of you participated. This wonderful artist participated. Pina gave a little bit of a behind the scene about Montale life, and please you know, sign up for the Dante Alighieri Society of Massachusetts newsletter if you are not in it, because this way you can keep up with all our events. We will have virtual events up until June, and then hopefully after the summer break, hopefully in September, we will be able to offer you the 4th Momenti Musicali event in person. I hope so. Yes, I know. So let's see what's going to happen. Get your vaccinations so we can all get together. Grazie di tutto. Feel free to contact the Dante Alighieri Society of Massachusetts if you are in New England, or also the one in Michigan. If you have questions, if you have comments, if you want to attend Italian classes, we are offering a lot of activities, events and classes. Ciao a tutti e grazie, grazie, grazie a questi meravigliosi artisti. Manabu, arrivederci, e Luana, grazie.
Thank you.
Ciao Steve, ciao Emanuele.
Grazie.
Bravissimi.
Complimenti Daniela Roma for coming up with this beautiful series.
Grazie a voi. A presto.
A presto.
Ciao.